Hello everyone. Hi, how are you? This is King Harp coming to you again. Sorry about that noise in the background. Um, I'm here to ring the bell and talk about policy and open government, our policy. I think it's important, so please subscribe to my channel. I think it's very important, and I think I want the voice to be heard. Please subscribe. I haven't had many more subscribers. However, it's important that we continue to bury together in one voice and one segment so that we can create a sector of power also through government so that we can create a sector of power. Because we have a lot going on, a lot of annoyance. It's not just white supremacy that it's annoying and trying to detour in the decade veil. It's also other groups who agree with the anti-black actions, with the anti-black policy, with the stealing from slave descendants and black people in terms of our legacy and cushions for our communities and our policy. So we got to understand that in terms of what has happened to us through our fear tactics and the positioning for us in government, well, we've been anchored a certain way to become political neophytes, people who don't understand policy and politics, so that we be just rounding about and used and basically for whatever cause or narrative that power needs, which is a detriment to us. A detriment to us in our community, how we survive, and a detriment to even our very life when it comes down to protections. Even we see what police are doing and citizens when it comes down to black people. They're making narratives and saying whatever they want to say about us, and we're in detriment. And this is not protected class. We do understand that black people, a lot of us are educated, a lot of us are into a powerful intellect. However, what's happened is we have no protections in terms of government, and we have been divided in terms of voice and unit. So right now we're coming together, and we're really in a pinch right now for president candidates. However, because we have, some of us, we understand that the President Donald Trump has been a problem in terms of his origin, what origin he comes from, in practicing certain anti-black actions in policy. So, then some of us agree with some of the things that he done, and that means are trying to do, and that means we think getting away from immigration would focus on us more and stop carrying other people and bearing other people's problems and leaving us in dire situation in our society. However, the main reason why the president was trying to get rid of immigrants is because they were just taking over the society, not necessarily to protect black people, but they've been using black people laws to become white and to interfere with white people's actions and take their positions and their jobs because their children becoming citizens off the amendment that belonged to descendants of slaves and black people. You see, the law has been broken and the division has came, and a house divided against itself won't stand. So we as Americans understand pro-American in terms of that. And I don't think black people really understood that well. So and in that part, I choose to agree with that policy because it's not my fight, and it is against me and my community. However, the president candidate that's running, Biden, had a policy, and his action, also anti-black, is what put the label on black people to be pretty much harmed by police. Street strikes you out to target black people with the law enforcement having a felony for no reason, or being on probation or something, and then police stop your car and accuse you of something, and then you become harmed because you have a label on you through the justice system because of Joe Biden's policy, which he practiced many years ago. And this has caused the the demise to black people, because now black men are in prison and we're not out here able to protect our women and children because we're in prison from the war on drugs and all kinds of sorts of things that we can't fight simply because we were not anchored in protections and power. And that means reparations, which government owe black people in terms of us being citizens and native citizens, and in terms of us being harmed, politically harmed, and harmed historically by the wealth of this nation, for the wealth of this nation. And that means chattel slavery. And then fighting wars that were brought on by chattel slavery, which is Jim Crow, the civil rights, harm, and people being killed, hung on trees, different things, KKK taking advantage of people off their land. This directly happened to my family, and positioned black people in a way where black people are afraid to approach life, afraid to approach government, politics. Politics is your life. So therefore we were left without, and now we're positioned in that way, in that sense. And other groups come to the society and practice a power that we never seen off our laws and what belongs to us. So neither Democrat or Republican has chosen to stand with black people, the descendants of slavery. Okay, so we're in a pinch with that. We got people emulating who we are to become CEO over our policy and our institutions, and not really us. Immigrants leading the Congressional Black Caucus is a problem, and things of that nature. It's enough of us here to stand in unity and to stand in authority over our policy and our community projects, and to stand in policy in our government and to embody that leadership as a protection to us of what is due to us and what is owed from a huge disadvantage of slavery and what happened to us in terms of that. We have not anchored us, been able to anchor because of fear tactics and the redlining of being pushed out of internal politics, and other groups, not just white supremacy, other groups that come here have been allowed to build community and policy off our blood lineage and our constitutional rights. And we have not been our Constitution have not been overseen properly because we don't have true protected class citizenship. It hasn't been granted to us. It is written up for us, but we haven't had it implemented to our community in a physical form, in a form which that's effective to us. And now we go on uncorrected in terms of money, business, and being harmed by police and other citizens who take on this supreme lineage that's unlawful because governments say they can. And this is one thing, but we're out here and we're doing our thing, but we need to understand it all, and we will understand it all. So let's just keep talking, ringing the bell, and keep doing policy, meeting, having groups, not to harm anyone, but to correct the situation, to keep from being harmed. To let everyone know that now the sleeping giant is stretching his legs and he's having coffee, and he's getting himself ready to have an armor of respect, protection, and a feet shod, and a breastplate, and a helmet of understanding for the public and for the betterment of something very important, and that is the descendants of slaves. But thank you for joining me. I'll come back and speak with you more. Subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoy this soundbite, and I hope that you're inspired and that you're having some insight according to these words. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel, and as I always say to the United States government, cut the check.